Go. On. Hello, members. This is Fukushima on the fly number 10. So, finally I get a little bit of time to start bagging up some of this stuff. So, what I'm finding is good old lunch bags, because the food sealer can only do so much. So, I'm finding that just the average size lunch bag, and you just kind of shake it down, right? Shake it down like that so that it kind of gets heavy. And then what I'm doing for each one is I'm cutting off the nutrient value, so that you know, you got an idea of what you're getting anyway. This is kind of nice to know. This one's 20% iron. This one's 48%. A red kidney bean is 48%. This is a lentil, it's only 20%. Chickpeas are high as well. Okay, and this one here is a black bean, and this one is 45%, 10% calcium. This is 2% calcium, 10% calcium, and also a kidney bean has also vitamin C. So this is kind of nice to know. And you know, if it was a disaster and something happened to me and I never made it back to home front, and you know, some piece of log fell on my head or something like that, I'm kind of putting down the cooking instructions here, you know, for the kids, so that if I'm not around, you know, they can kind of look at that and, you know, cook for themselves. But anyway, I'm also adding in the instructions. So we're going to come over here. I've started to dehydrate some, or not dehydrate, super seal. It's okay. It wasn't a bag like this. See, here's chickpea right here. That's there. That's chickpeas. And, well, this one's chickpeas garbanzos. This is chickpeas, well, same thing, I guess. So, there you go. That's the difference between them. So, I'm double bagging the paper bags. And then I'm trying to super seal. I'm finding that, I don't know, something happened to this one. I super sealed it, and then it unsealed. And these are some moong dal split, and there's something there. Looks kind of like a little bit of a barley of some sort. Obviously, I got that in a Chinese store. But this one here, I don't know. Super sealing isn't that great because it unseals, but maybe I'm just not doing it right because it's not something that I do normally. But I'm trying to do it for that. So I've done this one, and then I'm finding the potatoes in the small bags can somewhat super seal. This is the shredded russet potato. This is a russet potato. This one's shredded. I mostly did white and red. I'm finding in the big bags, though, I can't, like this size, there's nothing fits. I like the paper bag. These are compost bags, biodegradable, so I thought this would be a great way to store food if you don't want to put it in plastic. But I can't seem to super seal it, so I guess it's just going to have to go that way. I kind of taped it like that. So we're going to put that in there, and then I'm going to distribute some weight. Here we've got some other little red lentils. I put the lentils there to show, right? High fiber. So we'll put it in there like that. Actually, before I do that, though, I kind of wanted to line the bin with newspaper. So I'm going to line the bin with newspaper so that it's not, you know, plastic on plastic. But for now, so I started doing that. And then that bin will go down. The potato bin will go down. Everything's starting to go down. I want my kitchen back. So hopefully this week we'll get my kitchen back. I'm kind of mad right now, though, because I had a teenager in my home for about 6 weeks. And unfortunately, she took advantage of my family's kindness, and she kind of helped herself to a few of my things. And, you know, I've been working so long on my nonprofit for 12 years that what I like to do in terms of sewing has kind of gone on the back burner. And, you know, I've been a seamstress for 25 years. Well, before that, when I was pregnant with I started when I had one son, and I didn't even have my daughter, and she's 25. So it'd be pushing on 27 years now, actually. So, you know, I have accumulated things over the years, and since I've started my nonprofit, I haven't been able to sew very much, especially you know, when I'm doing the books all the time and stuff like that, and having to move my family and whatnot. And so anyway, this young lady decided to seem to help herself to some of my stuff. So I'm very disappointed, and I'm very angry because, you know, I'd like to find some time to sew at some point in the future and get back to what I like to do. I'm 50 years old. You know, I'd be lucky to have 30 years left. You know, that would put me at 80. I don't know if I'll live to 80 because, you know, I've kind of had a hard life and I'm getting kind of tired. But even if I was to live for another 10, 15 years, I'd like to think that some of the sequins and the, you know, the beads and those kind of things that I bought years ago and years ago and years ago, and I just kind of accumulated or hanged on to it or whatever, you know, I'd like to think that I could use some of those things, but unfortunately some of that stuff was taken. Yeah, I know I'm ranting on, but you know, I have a right to rant on though, right? You know, Fukushima and the fly kind of came along and disrupted my life. Non-profit kind of came along and disrupted my life, you know, and then when I open my house out to teenagers that are at risk, you know, to whatever, and they come in and they, you know, throw in a boomerang and disrupt my life. So I don't know if and when I'm ever going to get to sewing, you know, because now that half my stuff is gone when it comes to, you know, decorating my costumes and stuff like that. But, you know, it's important for people to understand that, you know, it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of willpower, and it takes, you know, it takes stamina, and it takes dedication, and it takes loyalty, and it takes faith. It takes a lot of things to keep moving forward with the nonprofit that kind of puts a ball and chain on your ankle, and you kind of, you know, you're kind of dragging it along. You're dragging along. Well, I'm kind of feeling like I'm dragging along with my nonprofit, and I'm getting kind of choked with it, especially when people come into my house and they take personal things that belong to me and my children. You know, it had nothing to do with the nonprofit. That's something that I started long before the nonprofit. If anything, the nonprofit took it away. And if, you know, and if I wouldn't have worked on the nonprofit, maybe I wouldn't have taken the girl in, because I had problems with this girl before. But, you know, a few years past, she was supposed to grow up. She was supposed to have matured. You know, she was supposed to have some common sense. But instead, she took our kindness as a weakness. And I'm just putting it out there, you know, if and when she ever comes across my video, hey, peace out.